Hi everyone, my name is Parul. Welcome to my channel Parul English Lab. In this video, I'll tell you how to use have to, has to, had to and will have to in different sentences. So this video is going to be really interesting, so please watch it till the end and let's get started. Has to, had to, will have to, these are all forms of the verb have to. So in past we use had to, in future we use will have to, and in present we use have to or has to. So we use have to express general obligation, duty, necessity in present, past or future. When there is a compulsion or when there is a requirement of something in present, past or future, then we use have to. So first, let's understand how have to is used in the present. When we use have to in the present, then the rule is subject plus have to or has to plus first form of the verb or base form of the verb. So we very well know, we have done the tenses, we know with he, she, it, singular third person, we use has, otherwise we use have. Now let's look at some examples. I have to complete my project by Monday. So when I say I have to, so this shows that there is a compulsion. I have to do it. Maybe I've got some guidelines from the seniors, or maybe this is the deadline, but I have to complete it by Monday. So this is really necessary, or this is the requirement of the hour. This is actually required. So this way we use have to. When there's a compulsion of something, when you are expected to do something, you have to. I have to complete this project by Monday. She has to give the presentation today because we are expecting our clients by the afternoon, so she has to give her presentation today. So here subject plus has to plus first form of the verb, because she is the third person, that's why I have used has. Okay, so whenever you are using it with singular third person, then you will use has, otherwise use have. So she has to give the presentation today. So it's a compulsion, she has to do it. Now you can also make negative sentences using have to or has to. When we make a negative sentence, then the rule is subject, then don't or do not, or doesn't or does not, plus have to, and then first form of the verb. Here we are not going to use has, because with he, she, it we will use does, otherwise we will use do. Then we don't have to change the verb, so have will remain have. Now let's look at some examples. I don't have to complete my project by Monday because the deadline has been extended. Now I don't have to submit my project by Monday. So here there is no compulsion. It's not required. I don't have to submit it by Monday. I can submit it anytime the next week, but it's not necessary that I have to submit it on Monday. So this is what it means. She doesn't have to give the presentation today because clients are not coming today. They are coming next month. So she doesn't have to give the presentation today. So this is not necessary. It's not required. She doesn't have to give the presentation today. So this way you can make negative sentences also. And here with she, I have used does. So with he, she, it, singular third person, you will not use do, you will use does, and then have to, and then the first form of the verb. You can also make interrogative sentences with have to. For example, do I have to complete my project by Monday? Yes, you have to, or no, you don't have to. So do I have to complete my project by Monday? Does she have to give the presentation today? So this way you can make an interrogative sentence with have to. When we use have to talk about the past, then it becomes had to. And the rule is subject, then had to, and then first form of the verb. Had to is used to talk about necessity and obligation existed in the past, not in present, in the past. Let's look at some examples. I had to consult a doctor last week. because I was having a stomachache and I tried many medicines, but it didn't help. So I had to consult a doctor. So I'm not talking about something that is necessary right now in the present. It was a necessity, it was a compulsion in the past. That's why I'm using had to. So I had to visit a doctor. I had to consult a doctor. It was a compulsion for me because in spite of trying many medicines, I didn't get relief. So that's why I had to consult a doctor last week. They had to travel by train because no other mode of transportation was available. The tickets were not available. So they had to travel by train. So it was a compulsion, it was necessary, it was required. So that's why they had to travel by train. Here also you can make negative sentences. When you have to make a negative sentence with had to, then the rule is subject, then did not or didn't. After that, have to. Not had to, because here we are using second form of the verb do. So that becomes did. And then have to, because we know that we always use the first form of the verb with did. We never use second or third form of the verb with did. Okay, so here the verb is have. That's why we will not use had in a negative sentence. We have to use have. And after have to comes first form of the verb. So this is the rule. Subject, did not or didn't, have to, and then first form of the verb. Now let's look at some examples. Last week I didn't have to consult the doctor because I took some medicines and I was fine. So I didn't have to consult a doctor. Fortunately, we got flight tickets and we didn't have to travel by train. So that was not required. It wasn't a compulsion for me because we got flight tickets, so we didn't have to travel by train. Now let's make some interrogative sentences also, and when we will make an interrogative sentence, then did will take the first position, and then comes the subject, and then have to, and then first form of the verb. Did you have to consult a doctor? You told me that you were having a stomachache last week, so did you have to consult a doctor? No, I took some medicines and I was fine. So did you have to consult a doctor? Did you have to travel by train? So this way you can make interrogative sentences also. When we use have to talk about future, then the rule is subject, then will have to, because we are talking about the future. So we will use will. So subject, then will have to, and then first form of the verb. When we use will have to talk about the future, so this means that something is really necessary or required, or something is a compulsion at some point of time in the future. Now let's look at some examples. You will have to study a lot. So you is the subject, then will have to, and then first form of the verb. So you will have to study a lot. If you want to clear this exam next year at some point in the future, then for that you will have to study a lot. You don't have to study right now, but yes, if you want to appear for that test next year in the future, then in the future you will have to study a lot. So this is something that is not necessary right now in the present, but it is really required, it's a compulsion, it's really necessary in the future. So that's how we use will have to talk about the future. It's my dream company. I really want to work with them. So you will have to work hard to get a job there. It's not easy. You will have to work hard to get a job there. So in future, if you want to join that company, so for that in future, you will have to work hard to get a job there. So here, this is a necessity in the future. This is a compulsion in the future. So this way we use will have to talk about a compulsion or a necessity in the future. You can also make negative sentences. So the rule is subject, then will not have to or won't have to. Won't is a contraction of will not. So won't have to, and then first form of the verb. For example, you won't have to come with us. It's up to you whether you want to come or not. It's not compulsory. It's not a compulsion. Next week we are going out and you will not have to come with us. I will not have to go to the market tomorrow. So this way you can make negative sentences also. Now let's make some interrogative sentences with will have to. So the rule is will and then the subject, then have to, and then first form of the verb. Will you have to meet him tomorrow? So will, then subject, will you have to, and then comes first form of the verb. Will you have to meet him tomorrow? Can't you cancel it? So is it really important or is it really necessary? Is it a compulsion? Will you have to meet him tomorrow? Will I have to go to school tomorrow? Can't I take a leave? Will I have to go to school tomorrow? Is it really necessary? Will I have to go to school tomorrow? Yes, you have to. So this way we use has to, have to, had to, and will have to in different sentences. So I hope you understood this lesson well, and now I think you should be able to use it in your day-to-day conversation. These are good words, good verbs. So please use a variety of words, use a variety of sentences, and improve your communication, improve your English day by day. Please like and subscribe to my channel Parul English Lab, and don't forget to press the bell icon for future notification. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day.